Hello, I'm and welcome back to Seed Sunday. This is the weekly series where I show you seeds for Minecraft which are particularly interesting and worth checking out in some way. And today I have a Java Edition seed, which is quite rare for the channel, and I'm showing off a Java Edition seed because we know that this update has finished changing the world generation until at least the next major one, 1.15, in 6 months to a year, and because of that we now have consistent seeds that will last for quite some time, and I wanted to show off a really great seed, people who are getting into 1.14 for the first time when it comes out, or who haven't played Minecraft Java Edition in quite some time and want to experience some of the new features, which of course requires a decent seed. So this seed actually isn't just a bizarre or a useful one, it's a seed which combines the best of Minecraft 1.13 generation with the best of 1.14 generation. And I don't mean that like metaphorically or whatever, I mean it literally combines the most important feature from both updates together in one place. It's very strange, it's very bizarre, but let me show you around this seed and talk about why it's so great in today's video. The seed's going to be on screen right now. That's the seed you need to type into Minecraft Java Edition, and it came in from DResed, and I thought, again, it was such an amazing seed, I just had to show it off, so big thank you DRes9000, but let's dive into the seed itself, because when you do type in that seed, you're going to spawn on an island right here. Again, if you have default settings turned on, if you do something else, you might get something very bizarre, like large biomes, but if you have regular, small stuff set on with your Minecraft, world generation, you're going to spawn just over here on an island with a bunch of trees over here, like a pretty large island, but you'll also be connected to this right here, and the reason that I like this seed so much for new players is because everyone getting back into Minecraft has that same feeling of like, oh yeah, the classic skyblock survival islands, etc. You can basically play this like a survival island. I mean, all you need to do is cut off like 6 blocks over here, and now you've got yourself an island with one tree. You can relive all of those challenges, except it's not just the same old challenges from Minecraft Beta, Alpha, or whenever you used to last play, because we of course have all the new features found around here. Like you can see, oh, there's some wood poking up from the surface bed there. Oh, it's a treasure ship. So if you go, I guess a pirate ship, a sunken ship, whatever we call it. And if you're not familiar with these, the cool thing about them, they're from the last update, is they do contain chests inside them, and if you can get inside those chests, you get some free extra loot, makes that challenge more fun, and you can also sometimes find treasure maps, which I also think is a really great way to experience this update, because they give you a little map, you grab the map out, and then you can find stuff in the area. I think it's great fun. This particular ship also contains, free chests, which is really nice, and this little glitch right here, where there's water that's not there, so easy air bubble below surface, really nice, and look, we get a buried treasure map too, somewhere nearby, where you can find even more treasure. Great thing, might, mix up your game, but if we want to throw that away, if we're just playing survival, we don't care about this island, the first thing you're going to do is walk in this direction, because you know that amazing thing I showed off earlier? It requires going this way, a fair amount, just about 1,000 blocks or so, but it means you're going to have to go this way, you're going to have to pass over another, buried ship, this like treasure ship. Again, buried ship feels wrong, and I know it's not that, it's like an abandoned ship, but here you can see it's a ship with its treasure map right in the open, which is much nicer if you don't like going below water, if you're unfamiliar with the mechanics, and then leads right into this extreme hills biome. So if you don't play Minecraft Bedrock, then maybe you won't appreciate the Minecraft Java has the best hills of any Minecraft platform. These hills actually go up to well over Y100, and if you are playing Java for the first time after playing another platform, it's nice to have extreme hills actually be extreme. Look at this extreme hills biome and look at how extreme it actually is, and you'll see how like, oh yeah, this is real nice, isn't it? This is a nice feature. Isn't it nice having a nice little exclusive? It's a thing you can only really benefit from on the Java Edition, and now you know. However, you want to keep heading in the same direction, again, where both your coordinates are going negative. So here you should see, looking over there, both your coordinates are going negative, or just, go in the direction you saw me go from spawn. Keep following it, and what you'll find is that even on the way to the main part of this seed, the thing we're excited for, the thing, that featured in the start of the video, probably somewhere in like the thumbnail, right? Because it's YouTube, it's probably going to feature there because people care about those things. But like, you also find on the way there, oh, here is a mineshaft in a ravine. It's, somewhat tricky to get to, although all you have to do is get to this side and like jump down. But it's a mineshaft in a ravine, which is much rarer on Java because it doesn't have infinite mineshaft bugs like on Bedrock. And then also this ravine's interesting because it has a spruce tree right at the bottom. Again, maybe a fun thing in like covering this up and living below the ground or something like that, or just explore the mineshaft because it's going to provide you with a lot of free stuff. It's also worth noting this isn't just one ravine, it's technically 2 ravines in one, and that second ravine also then has a mineshaft crossing over it. It's really interesting and crazy to see, and if you haven't played around with this before, it's a really interesting structure, which again is just on the way to where we're going next, because we want to keep heading in the same diagonal direction, heading in negative on both coordinates, because just a few hundred blocks later, you're going to find yourself at the edge of this spruce forest. It's a very big spruce forest, I'll admit. You're going to find yourself a little ship in the ocean here. This one is actually fully formed, it just happens to be sunk. Like, to me at least, like all of the ships in Minecraft, they have have different amounts of like things removed. This one seems fine, it just somehow went below the surface. Okay, that's fine, I guess. So as well as seeing another one right here, you're gonna spot one of the most bizarre pieces of generation I've ever seen. It's this village found right over here. It's a brand new village, so it's a 1.14 village of the new villages, the new village stuff, where as you can see, like, oh, they have a crop plant with no crops inside, just this one villager who is apparently trapped in there. Which is kind of amusing. You're gonna see how, like, oh yeah, we got some all of the new features, like, oh, it's bridges going out to sea, we got a house just by the lakeside, look how beautiful this is. Except the house I just showed you doesn't always generate just over there, it often generates right over here, in the middle of one of these pirate boats, or sunken boats. Although, this sunken boat is on land, which is already quite a weird, strange thing, but then the sunken boat on land happens to have a village generating right through it. This can happen with a lot of Minecraft structures. You see desert temples and villages have this problem a lot. You can see it with all sorts of different things in all sorts of different places, but this one is especially weird because it means that there's a nice little house, which again, it exists in full form, like you can live inside this, you can sleep inside this, but then just outside you can see how, like, oh yeah, it also has all of the sunken lower levels with, you know, like the leather tunic and all these other different weird things. It's like, huh, that is a very, very bizarre feature by itself. Like, again, it's super strange that this is like this, but then you can see how also to the left of it, you're going to see some crop planters right below all this sand. You can actually, like, hide this all if you wanted to, or you have to just punch the sand, it'll fall down, and you got yourself, like, a collapsed cave. But yeah, it's super strange to me that there is all these things generated into the world together in just such a bizarre, strange thing. It is worth noting, this only seems to happen some of the times. Again, after looking this up, I was like, there's no way that's a thing that generates all the time. And of the times I tried it, 2 of the 3 times I didn't get this, only 1 of the 3 times. The other 2 times, what I actually got was the seed you saw before with the house just over here, but then also you can see how the boat looks entirely different. I don't know how this changes from load to load, but it's one of those bizarre quirks of the 1.14 world engine. But you can see how, like, oh yeah, it's now a different type of ship, question mark. It's not really on land anymore, which is extra strange in my opinion. And then also you can see, looking at this boat, they're like, oh yeah, you know, it's still kind of on land, but also not. But also, it's strange to see one of these brand new 1.13 features, even if it's next to the village, to me that's just as strange. You literally see them together. The only thing that makes a difference is that this house generates like 20 blocks further east or west. It's a strange thing, but it is a thing you can expect regardless. Oh, and also it's worth noting, like, oh yeah, this is a nice village otherwise. You can get all your things you like, get your pumpkins, get your new bushes. Again, this is a brand new feature if you don't know. You can have sweet berries, they're edible, but also plantable. It's a fun new feature. You can also get this, which is apparently a villager hiding between 2 trees. I don't know how I feel about that one. And yeah, just in general, super interesting village. It's new buildings, new everything. You're going to want to explore this if you haven't already. Also, there's a campfire just outside here. Super quirky and fun. But in case that's not enough for you, you're like, oh, I like villages, but my favorite thing about villages is getting free stuff. Then good news, this seed also has you covered. So I forgot to mention this, but also the village, as well as having that craziness, if you go just a little bit to the south of it, you're going to find yourself another treasure wreck. This is going to be one of those upside down ones, but this treasure wreck has combined itself with a underwater ruin. Again, usually this should happen, you know, these ships are a little bit unpredictable sometimes, but you can see how, like, oh yeah, that's another 1.13 feature mixed with another one, and again, you might not find as much interest in this. It happens every now and then, but to see it on the same seed as that other one, it's especially bizarre. And yeah, free loot all around, because there's free loot here, of course, there's free loot inside this thing, and there's free loot inside this building as well. It's really nice. I mean, even if the free loot is only a fishing rod with a single enchantment and a single piece of coal, I mean, it's better than no free loot, right? I mean, that's always my that's always my logic. Anyway, let's go to the north of this, because if you want a brand new village, then just 700 blocks to the north of this village, so keep heading this way, where your negative X goes in slightly higher up, and you're going to find yourself at a second village. And this second village is one which is pretty close to those extreme mountains, which, like I mentioned, you're going to kind of want. And again, I feel like this is just a golden idea you have to go with. Just up top this mountain right here, you have a really good view of the peasants in the village below. And given that we now know you can expand villages based on beds, that's going to be a new mechanic 1.14. If you want to do something like have either, you know, like a fascist stay, if you want to go the toy camp route, but even if you want to make just a huge village farm and have like a satisfying place to sit atop and watch it, then up up there is the best place to do that. And also, if you want coordinates, because this isn't Bedrock, here they are right now. If you go to these places right here, you're going to find yourself this second village, which is nice, second spruce village, and a nice place to sit if you want to have a house that overlooks them. I feel like that's a golden idea, but in case this isn't enough for you, then heading back towards spawn, heading a different direction, will give you another set of great stuff. Because I like seeds that give you choices. It's not just one great thing, it's multiple great things. So let's show you what else this single seed has to offer. So yeah, here's the spawn again. As you can see, I always mark it with a beacon. Fun fact, if you haven't been watching Seed Sunday very long, then this is the way I mark where the spawn always is. It's a good way to properly keep that always kept in track, because the spawn is important in any seed. But if you head the opposite way from spawn, so you see where the boat's poking out the water, head this way instead, then you're going to find yourself a desert. On the way to the desert, you can find a couple of ships if you go kind of this way there instead. But you know, that's an optional thing. There's lots of ships on this seed. You don't need to worry about every single one of them. But yeah, there is a desert just over here from the spawn. It's a short swim or a small boat ride, because there is wood over, and you can find yourself a giant lava pit. This is kind of nice by itself, allows you to get to the nether much faster. As soon as you get iron, which you can get from those ships, you can be heading straight into the nether, which is super nice, super great, right? But also, it's a huge desert which has access to a desert temple. That's 4 sets of free loot. Again, 4 chests, 4 sets of loot, can contain saddles, horse armor, enchanted books, all that sort of stuff. And then we have something super strange. It is a 1.13 shipwreck, but it's a shipwreck which is buried below ground. So you have to excavate this one if you want to get there, like bricks and blocks, and get down there like, oh yeah, look, it still exists. It's just kind of buried in the sand. And it's super crazy to me that, like, again, these things can generate this way, because these are always meant to be in the water, but in this same seed we've seen in 2 different locations, 2 different directions from spawn, that doesn't always seem to be the case. So yeah, that's interesting by itself as well. We also have the fact that this desert temple goes right into a savanna, and everyone loves the savanna biome, as we all know very well, I would hope by now. So yeah, it has all of the great, wonderful things you expect from a Minecraft seed, all near each other. Including, if you cross all the way over the savanna biome to these coordinates right here, you're going to find yourself a savanna village. And again, this is super nice. You get a couple of horses if you want them. You get all the new villages. You get access to all this sort of stuff. It's an interesting place to find. And these new villages, every single one of them, oh, this one's got a weird thing where the water flows over the farms. But it's always interesting to see new farms. And seeing this particular farm where it crosses biomes and then has these plants in really weird places that are just bound to cause issues. Like, you break one block or do anything nearby, and what do you know? Now you've caused yourself a flood. Oh. Apparently this block does not care what you do. There we go. But you can cause yourself a flood really easily, which is interesting. It's an interesting village looking at this outfit. And also, if you haven't seen an acacia village, a savanna village, in this update, they are super changed, very different to before. Every village feels different in this update, and that's a cool, unique little feature. So yeah, with that said, that is this week's Seed Sunday. I hope you did all enjoy it. I hope that this is a seed you want to check out, because I don't usually do Java Edition Seed Sundays. Oh, also, it's worth mentioning, I didn't know this till just now. See, it's embarrassing, it shows in the outro, but just to show you how amazing Minecraft can be sometimes, even on top of all that stuff, when you think you've already done pretty well, it's a second village next to the Savannah village, but it's not a regular village, it's a zombie village. There is a zombie village right next to that one. Like, again, you can see how close they are, even if it's off an entirely different type. But yeah, this is a abandoned village, a bizarre feature which is almost impossible to find in the current update, because of the fact that all the villages changed from 1.13 to 1.14. So yeah, you can find all the same stuff, but it's in a scary, spooky, abandoned version of the village. Although it doesn't seem to have zombies, so I guess scary, not really spooky. Or maybe spooky but not scary, I guess. Depends on how you define those 2 words, which is a debate we can have some other time. For now, all you need to know is this. Again, once you get to that village over there, you can find it. But just in case, here are the coordinates to a zombie village not far from spawn, and also not far from lava and a giant iceberg. So, you know, everything you want, all kind of close to spawn. Great Java Edition Seed. Let me know what you thought about Java Edition Seed Sunday. I won't be doing this too often, but maybe we should do it like, you know, once an update, maybe even more than that. Let me know what you're thinking in the comments down below. And of course, with a like, a subscribe, or with, you know, the hit of that bell, because everyone loves bells on YouTube. So thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.